Global reset has been around for 40 years. This is not new. The global world leaders that are meeting are not global world leaders. The global reset that was originally established is by the UN. It's from the UN, the worthless organization of the UN. This is not something that has been put out there by a central bank, even a reputable or an unreputable central bank. It's put out there by the UN. It's the only way that the bureaucrats in the UN can stay in existence and try to justify their jobs. What exactly is the reset? I would want to ask somebody what that is. I would want to ask the people that are concerned about this exactly what it is that they are concerned about. You know, the chip that is going to be implanted, if it's the mark of the beast, as some would say, then I'm all for it. Why? Because I'm a pre-tribber. And the beast is coming after I'm already raptured and gone. So it has little consequence to me. Now, I could be wrong about being a pre-tribber, and maybe the mid-tribbers are right, or maybe the post-tribbers are right, and we're going to have to live through it. We're all going to end up, nobody's really wrong, we're all going to end up at the same place. There's been electronic currency around since 1956. That's called a credit card. That's when Diners Club put out the first multi-use credit card. COVID had put that on steroids, this currency-free economies. Look, there is a movement. I talked about it in the first hour of the program. There is an obvious, very real movement by globalists. Biden is a globalist, and Biden's whole administration are backing this. Every royal elite politician in America, which is most of the politicians, not all, there's a remnant, most of the politicians of the world. There is this royal elitist status of being a politician that despised Trump. Trump was going to ruin everything for all the ground that the globalists like President Obama have managed to gain here in America. He was going to ruin it. None of these globalist elite will create we can call it a reset if we want. I'd rather not, because nobody can adequately explain what the reset is from an economic perspective. I know what the UN thinks it is, but that's not a reset by any stretch of the imagination, though they call it that. But they despised President Trump because none of these, as great as they think all this is, and as much as they believe in it and want this to happen, it can't be done without America. So if it's so great, why don't they just go ahead and do it and leave America out of it? Because they can't. They need America's power economically, ingenuity, and inventiveness intellectually, and they need credibility that only America can bring to the table. They've been meeting for 40 years. They're going to continue to meet. This time, the meeting will have a participant from somebody in the new globalist Biden administration. We know how the story ends. We know there's going to be a one world government. Back in 2009, I wrote a white paper and I wrote articles 3 times published, 3 different times it was published, about what is going to usher in the one world government. I said it has to be a one world currency. And I explained why it's going to be so easy to usher in a one world currency and the one world government if you do it under the one world currency model.